Hey guys, what's up? JP here. Just finished watching the Microsoft 2014 E3 press conference. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Wow, what a conference. Ton of games. In fact, there was only one particular point in time where there was a talking person on the screen that was talking about sales figures and everything. And that was at the very beginning when Phil Spencer comes out on stage, talks about the new console generation and how it's the biggest launch for. They didn't say Xbox. They said for all consoles, which is kind of interesting. Like he went for a very not Xbox sided type opening. It was kind of like a welcome everyone, which was really refreshing to see. I think he's the perfect frontman for Xbox, and he didn't even have that much time on stage. He really only had kind of like two. The conference was split up into two different sections, really. It was the first half, which is 2014, and the second half, which was 2015. And he only came out on stage at the beginning, and then from the transition from 2014 to 2015, and then at the very end to close it out. So let's just jump into it because they showed a shit ton of games at this conference. Apart from Phil Spencer being on for the 2 or 3 minute opener, it was games on games on games, which was really what everyone said that Microsoft needed to do and what everyone needs to do this E3. And I think Microsoft had a pretty good press conference. So starting things off, they kicked it off with Call of Duty, the new version, Advanced Warfare, I believe is the name. And it is the first Call of Duty, actually, that I'm kind of interested in. And it was only, they didn't show any multiplayer, obviously. They never do with these things. It's always kind of the weird single player that doesn't get that much attention when the game fully ships. But I feel like Sledgehammer Games this year is done a great job with it. I'm super on board with it. Future War looks super cool. Some things that they showed was a rocket-propelled grenade that homes in on targets. I'm on board with that. That sounds fantastic to me. They had some kind of like mechanized tanks or tanks that had kind of like crab walkers. I don't know. It looked really cool. Looks like the world's going to shit, obviously. I mean, that's Call of Duty. The world's always going to shit. I would hate to live in that world. But it is doing what almost all of the Call of Duties in the past, I don't know, for me, 5 years have never done. And that is get me interested in the franchise once again. Now, granted, probably don't give a shit about the multiplayer unless they really do something cool there, and obviously we'll see what comes from that, I'm sure, later on in the year. But so far, the single player actually looks kind of interesting. Like, I really want to see what they do with that. There's a big pull away where a guy loses his arm. I don't know. They're probably going to replace it with some robot arm or something. But Call of Duty is looking good, which is something I thought I would never, ever say. So they go from Call of Duty and they step right into Forza, which was kind of, for me, not being the biggest Drive fan, was kind of a letdown. I mean, it was kind of a slump. But one thing that was cool was the trailer for Forza Horizon 2, which they advertised as now in 1080p, left off the FPS, which is 30. Keep in mind. God, I wish that was 60. But anyways, the trailer was cool, and the reason that I love Forza Horizon 1 was the music, and they had a good strong song selection from what I could hear in the trailer. Looks pretty good, but 30 FPS, man. I don't know. Not. I wish it was 60. I wish it was 60. So from there, they went into Evolve, which I didn't get a chance to play at PAX East. I saw it, but I don't know. Left 4 Dead games are just not really my thing. I played through like a mission once in Left 4 Dead, then I never went back and play it. There's just no replayability for me there. Evolve looks cool. There's a big monster. It's 4v1. You could play as the monster this time. Maybe that's enough to keep me interested. I don't know. We'll see. Looks pretty good graphically. Yeah, a bunch of different classes in that. So kind of an interesting gameplay. I know a lot of people are hyped for that, especially after playing it at PAX East. We'll see what happens when it actually comes out. From there, they jumped into Assassin's Creed Unity, and unfortunately, there was no dubstep, which was kind of a letdown. No stabbing in the head, followed by dubstep. I'm sorry, Wheat, but what there was 4-player co-op, which might be enough to have me reinterested in Assassin's Creed. I feel like Black Flag, was it Black Flag? Whatever AC4 was, did a decent job of reintroducing me to that franchise, but I don't know. Maybe it's just the setting. Like, I feel like we've been in this setting. I think they're in Paris this time around. I don't know. I wish they would just hurry up and go to Japan. But that's Unity, and I think they still have another game, another Assassin's Creed coming out. Maybe we'll see that at the Ubisoft, or sorry, being announced. Maybe we'll see that at the Ubisoft conference a little bit later today. But the 4-player co-op looks cool, I guess. I mean, instead of you just running around stabbing people in the face, there's 4 people running around stabbing dudes in the face. One thing that was cool, and I don't know if this will actually be what it is in the full game, but the amount of people in the crowd was very high quantities. It actually looked like a crowd, which to me just means that it's just more people to stab constantly, right? But we'll see. It looks pretty cool. It looks pretty cool. It kind of has that Call of Duty vibe, though, where it's kind of the same thing over and over again each year, which is what they've been doing with that franchise. So, I don't know. We'll see. Dragon Age. They go from that into Dragon Age Inquisition, and man, the trailer that they showed was pretty meh. It was probably, for me, apart from Fable, which we'll get to later, the low of the conference, the Microsoft conference. Not really the biggest hype going out of that trailer, and game looks, I mean, like it'll be good. Animations look pretty cool, but it still has that Dragon Age look to it. I don't know how to, or that maybe it's that BioWare look to it. I don't know. Hopefully the game looks, well, not looks, but plays a lot better, because watching it was not the biggest fan. One thing that looked really, really fun, and was a great trailer to open their little section off, was Sunset Overdrive. This is the game that was announced last E3 from Insomniac as the Xbox One exclusive. The trailer starts off, and it's a fucking giant middle finger to Modern Warfare shooters. Not Call of Duty in general, but just like warfare shooters, right? Militaristic shooters. Gigantic fuck you to all of them with the cover system. I thought that was a brilliant way to really get people into that game. Looks super fun, looks super fast, tons of just nonstop kind of running through things. I guess you can use like parkour. That's the buzzword for it now. Looks like a lot of fun. The guns look super creative, which is what that team does very well. And I'm pretty interested in Sunset Overdrive after that trailer, especially where in the past I was kind of lukewarm to that IP. So definitely check that out. From there, they went into announcing a Dead Rising 3 trailer thing, which has a really ridiculous Capcom name, like Super EX Hyper Alpha Beta, blah blah blah. Like, looks cool. But what they announced was kind of what a lot of Dead Rising fans were actually pretty excited for. Not so much myself. I'm not the biggest Dead Rising fan. But they went and announced a 4-player co-op thing where you can play as all of the old Dead Rising characters. And they have stupid Street Fighter outfits where you're like doing stupid Street Fighter Ultra moves. And yeah. Looks pretty cool. I don't know. I probably won't be too into it, but I know a lot of hardcore Dead Rising fans will. Next up on the list at the conference was the only, I believe, I want to say the only, except for maybe 1 or 2 indie games, Connect game shown at the conference, and that was the Dance Central game. It's called Dance Central Spotlight. It is digitally only. They didn't say anything more than that, just said that you're going to have more games, better tech with the new Connect. And they didn't even go to like a demo or anything. They just said, here's our game. This is what it's going to be. Kind of. Let's move on. Thanks for having us here. They talked a little bit about Fantasia as well, but they didn't show it at all. It felt like they were trying to stay as far away as possible from Connect, which maybe Phil had a big hand in that, because he said I mean, they announced, they didn't even actually, now that I think about it, no mention of the Connectless SKU. So that's kind of how much they devoted to just games here. Next was probably the worst thing that was shown at the conference, and I don't know if it was just because of the game or just how it was shown. You spent a lot of time like in the lobby as they were introducing the different characters in game. No character creation from what I could tell, but that was of course Fable Legends. Again, another 4-player co-op game. Doesn't look like there's a main story. Kind of looks like Borderlands, but in Fable. Has the same dialogue, but the big like takeaway was that now you can play as the villain in this, which you get like this overview thing. I don't know. It's fucking Fable. Like, I'm just not excited. I'm not excited for that. It looks very Borderlands-ish. It looks all right. I guess the animations look cool, but just not all that hyped. Kind of winding out the 2014 portion of the conference. They went into Project Spark. Still looks pretty cool. I don't know if I want to necessarily build a game, but I might be interested in running around in other people's games. I mean, I can see where that would be pretty interesting. At the end, they were like, now with Conquer, I don't know why he was there. It's like, hey, we've got this kind of interesting thing that we used to have an IP for. Why not put him in the... Okay, here's a squirrel. He wasn't even like bad mouthy or anything. It was just like, you remember me? I'm that squirrel that was really foul back in the day. I don't know. Seemed really weird to have Conquer show up at the end of that Project Spark thing. From there, they went into another game, which I'm probably super excited for. It might be so far the indie that I'm most excited for in this conference, but again, we've only seen one. Is called Ori and the Blind Forest. It is a side-scroller indie game. Huge focus on kind of an artistic looking style. Looks absolutely fantastic. Had a little bit of like Princess Mononoke feel to it. Can't wait to see what that actually is. I really want to see more. Looks absolutely fantastic. Definitely check out the trailer for that or the gameplay whenever that actually comes out. From there, they went into their Halo thing, which I think probably had the most screen time as a game for them than any other game. So they announced the Halo Master Chief Collection. It's all 4 Halo games, Halo 1 through 4, on a single disc. You can actually go to the menu, which has all 4 there. Apparently, it's going to be pretty easy to go in and out. But the big takeaway here was that, unfortunately, it's not Halo 1, but it is Halo 2. Obviously, that was a much bigger game for them. It's back, and it is in fully HD. All of the maps have been redone. Apparently, with a simple button, you can actually go back to the old textures. It's come out on November 11th on the 10th anniversary of Halo 2. Looks cool. Wanted to see more Halo 1. Like, if they announced that there was a Halo 1 multiplayer, I think that would have been more exciting for me. But I could definitely see where there's more eyeballs or more people that have played Halo 2. The other thing that they announced was that there's 100 maps across all 4 games, so they're going to pack in all of the DLC. It's going to run at 1080p 60. Pretty cool that they're doing that on dedicated servers. Interesting. And for those of you that care about achievement scores, they're going to have 4,000 gamer points for that. So that's pretty cool. Also included with that is Halo Nightfall. It's their live action thing that they spent way too much time fucking talking about last year, and it looks all right. And of course, if you pre-order this Halo 5 Guardian, or sorry, this Halo, what is it? The Master Chief Collection. If you pre-order this, you of course get into the Halo 5 Guardians beta this holiday. Who figures? They showed a like 30-second Halo 5 Guardian multiplayer beta trailer, 60 FPS. They called it Arena Multiplayer Dedicated Server. Looks pretty cool, and that was it for 2014. In 2015, this is where they started showing some pretty interesting stuff. There's a new game from the Limbo studio. It's called Inside. It looks like Limbo, but it also has this kind of weird industrialization type look to it. And you're playing as a kid, and like the end is that you look, and the kid's like looking inside of this glass thing. There's probably some monster in it. I don't know. Looks fantastic. Super into it. I absolutely loved Limbo and what that game offered up. Super into seeing what they do with this new game. After that, they showed the ID at Xbox, which is their indie initiative. There was a bunch of there was a montage with a ton of different indie games in it. They didn't go full Sony though. They didn't have all of the indie devs out on the stage. It was just a simple montage. There was a ton of cool looking games. I don't really remember too many in particular. They showed probably 15 or so. A lot of games in that trailer. And they look all right. From there, for some reason, Witcher 3 was shown on Xbox One, which is a pretty big get for Xbox, I think, to show that on a stage. Looks fantastic graphically. The one thing that this did for me more so than the gameplay trailer that was just released was that the combat was shown in here, and it was actually like the full HUD. And oh my god, the combat looks so much fucking fun. I don't know if it was just like a one-time thing and we're going to be chopping people in half, or we have any actual control over it, but they just straight up cut motherfuckers up. Fought a griffin. Cannot wait to see that game. It looks absolutely awesome. Just cannot fucking wait. From there, they had a guy come out from Microsoft Studios, creative director, talked a little bit about Killer Instinct, gave that some showtime, and said that they're bringing back another game from Xbox, the original Xbox, not Xbox One, because fucking stupid name. Anyways, said they're going to bring it back. I got pretty excited. And then they showed this trailer, which was apparently a game called Phantom Dust, which was a card game. Apparently no one played it. The people that did were pretty excited on the internet. I don't know. It was kind of a weird reveal that had a lot of hype going into it that was just not all that exciting. So after that, they went into The Division, which for me last year was a huge game. Made a big blip on my radar. Really excited to see it again. I was watching for those corridors, and you scanned a baby, you got XP in a subway. That's where it starts out. From the subway, after showing kind of like some exploration, they jump up into what looks to be New York, and some NPCs start spawning. They had kind of the weird, like fake multiplayer dialogue where everyone's really cordial, and it's like, Chris, get over here and help me, where people would just be screaming obscenities if it was really a multiplayer thing. But regardless, gameplay still looks fun, looks very Borderlands-ish, I guess, but looks absolutely fantastic with their art style. Showed active skill changing on the fly. I think they showed that last year. I actually stopped writing little notes about the game because it just looks so much fun. I cannot wait to play that game or see more of that game. I hope it looks as good as it does in these trailers when the game finally ships, because it looks awesome. Just totally into it. From there, Platinum Games came out, and the Hideki Kamiya, I guess was on stage and announced a new IP, which is exclusive to Xbox, called Scalebound. It was a CG trailer, showed this guy that was wearing like Beats headphones. It's red fucking headphones. He puts them on like music plays. Was fighting a bunch of dragons, and then like turns into this weird scale thing, and like the dragon was on his side, and like this giant hydra comes out. No actual gameplay showed. It was all CG. I guess it looks pretty interesting for like a new IP. I really want to see gameplay. They pitched it as, I think, a new type of action game, or an action game you've never seen before, I think is what it was. It looks all right. It looks pretty cool. But again, it was all CG. Lots of dragons, huge monsters. Direction-wise, I'm in. I want to see gameplay, though, before I really make a big purchase, obviously. And then from that, the final game that they showed was a new Crackdown. And really, I never realized this, but the one takeaway from Crackdown that I always enjoyed was that announcer voice. And he's right there from the start of this trailer. Was CG, though, but it's a Crackdown game. I think everyone kind of knows what to expect there. A lot of explosions in the trailer. A ton of fun back in the day. Excited to see what they're doing with this new one on Xbox One. And that was the trailer. Or sorry, that was the trailer. But that was also the conference. That was it. Phil Spencer came back out, talked about games. They did a quick like montage showing all the different thing. They had a Gears of War logo in the montage, but they didn't actually show Gears of War, which I thought was a little interesting. One thing that I think the conference maybe lacked was kind of like a big bang. I wanted to see like that fucking huge announcement. Actually, I skipped. I'm sorry. I got so excited to talk about Witcher 3 that they showed Rise of the Tomb Raider, which is the next Tomb Raider game with the current reboot of Tomb Raider. Looks fantastic. It was only a trailer, though. But I'm really excited to see what that looks like. But yeah, apart from that, there was no big, like, megaton, holy shit. But it was just a lot of games, so I'm happy with that. but there wasn't like a big game that I'm like, oh my God, did you guys see that fucking trailer? That's fucking... I didn't see anything like that. We'll see what EA has as they're up next, and then Ubisoft, and then later tonight, Sony, and then tomorrow, Nintendo. I'm pretty excited, though. It was a great conference to start E3. I really want to see what else is coming out. So I'll see you guys for the next conference at EA. Thanks all for watching. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.